Wary observations, righteous discussions unite people. It's the Word Up Podcast, and I am your host, OMN9ETC,
Omni.
etc. Check it out, 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 people. Listen, we are on day 34 of the government shutdown, and this is the most childish government in the history of the U.S. All right. It is the most childish thing happening in government in the history of the U.S. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Hold on. Let me make sure my sound is sounding because the math ain't mathing. All right. All right. So that's up. That's not down. All right. This is the most childish. Without a doubt, this is the most childish thing in going on in government in the history of the government. All right, I cannot believe what's going on. All right, let me see, because that we're going to. Yeah, I gotta get my tools straight here. There we go. All right, but this is the most childish thing going on in government that I've ever seen in my lifetime. I think in the history of the U.S. Um, there we go. There we go. It doesn't sync up right at first, but here it is syncing up now. And it's like the government shut down. The government shut down. Right? We got people off work. We got people who can't pay bills right now. We got people that's borrowing money to stay afloat. We have people are let's see, everyone, the Dems, Republics are let's see. Hear me out. Angel Razor Crossing. Let me see what you're saying. Okay. Let me see what Angel Razor Crossing is saying. I don't see you in the regular chat because I think you typed too much, or you typed a word that's automatically blocked in the regular chat, but it popped up and made it through on here. So let me see if it deserves. Everyone, the Dems, Republics are Trump's pawns. They're ignoring one large thing is how is Trump able to make a ballroom and his marble bathroom while struggling with the budget? Because it's privately funded, Angel. It's privately funded. So he's not using a dime of governmental funds in order to do it because he himself is a billionaire. As a matter of fact, I believe this is the only time in our nation's history where a sitting president didn't take the salary that came with the position. So he's not even taking any government money himself, and he's not using any governmental funds in order to add on to the ballroom. Hope that answers your question. Um, but there's the thing. There's the thing. Uh, this is childish. What's going on? I think, and to what you were speaking towards, right, Angel? A little bit of what you were speaking towards. Uh, both Democrat and Republicans. This is what I think. Neither one should have a salary. They rather their salary because it's annualized, but their salary they shouldn't have received a paycheck. They shouldn't have received any payment in the month of October because it's ridiculous that we have furloughed workers, furloughed federal workers, but they still are able to be paid themselves and they're paid through our money. But this is the thing with Democrats. Democrats are holding America hostage right now. The Democratic Party is holding America hostage right now. And not all of them, because there are actually Democrats that disagree. There are Democrats that disagree. And they're holding, but the Democratic Party is holding America hostage right now. Like, the snap. You don't think it's kind of super villainy? Ride with me for a second. Roll with me for a second. You don't think it's kind of super villainous that the thing that's holding up the process is a clean CR bill? It's not even an actual bill. It's just a bill that says we're going to continue doing the work that the people paid us to do. It's not even actually implementing actual policy. It's just saying, look, we're going to open up the government so the federal workers can be paid, the benefits can still roll out, and the Democratic Party is stonewalling with their votes, saying, no, we're not opening this up until you give us what we want. We're going to let people suffer. We're going to blame you in the media, and we're going to let people suffer, and we're going to withhold our vote to continue the democratic process, and we're going to let people starve. We're going to let people go without we're going to let people go without food. We're going to let people go without the ability to actually pay for their lifestyle. We're going to let people, you know what I'm saying, have to rely on debt. I believe it's like $1 billion so far that the furlough workers have borrowed in order to, you know what I'm saying, in order to get over this past month. It's absolutely insane. But don't take my word for it. Check this out. Check this out. Oh, hold on.
How is this going to end? Are there any new signs this week
Whoa,
one of the political parties might blink? Joining us now
out.
is Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. He's one of 3 Senate Democrats who has been voting with Republicans to continue to fund the government. Senator, thanks for joining us. So, as you know, 42 million Americans, including 2 million Pennsylvanians, will not receive food stamp or SNAP benefits this month because funding officially lapsed yesterday. The White House says this is the fault of Democrats for shutting down the government. Democrats note that the Trump administration is not dipping into the contingency funds for SNAP, and they think that Trump is doing that to pressure Democrats. How do you see it? Who do you blame for this?
Well, I mean, for me, fundamentally, I'm deeply distressing to know that 42 million Americans are going to lose their SNAP benefits. And now that's one of the big reasons why I refuse to shutting our government down. And again, I feel like the Democrats really need to own the shutdown. I mean, we're shutting it down. I know why they claim, because they want to address the tax credits, and I fully support that. I voted for all of their RCRs, every single time, and I refuse to put 42 million Americans in the kinds of food insecurity. Now, this is all is solved by just reopen our government, and the people are now paid. Now, if we are the party that are fighting for working people. Now, as far as I'm aware, every single union that's involved in this is now demanding to us to reopen that. That's the side that I'm in through this. And now the 4 airlines are now saying we really have to stop this right now. And why do we really want to make flying less safe by forcing this times of situation and making things that much stressed? So it's not something I support of, and I don't want to be involved. And now we can find a way forward. We need to find a way forward. And I do believe we can achieve these kinds of tax credits. And this is something I support, but it's the wrong tactic. It was wrong when the Republicans did it. It's wrong now that we seem to be driving it.
Senators say that.
Let's see. Angel says, other countries forgot which one. I'll look into this while the video's playing. But other countries still use the current budget and don't close their own government and figure things out until a new budget. Yeah, I think this whole thing is ridiculous. Like, I think the fact that you shut down the government because, you know what I'm saying, grown adults can't figure something out. These are supposed to be colleagues. They can't figure something out at work, so you shut down the government. I think that's utterly ridiculous to begin with. I don't know how this rule was instituted or when it was instituted. I need to look up that, honestly, because that's the crux of everything. But I think it's utterly ridiculous that grown people not coming to a decision means everybody has to suffer as a result of it. Let's see. Let's see. The illegal immigrant issue of them getting Obamacare and other programs can be solved easily if you make adding your your Social Security number a requirement in order to be in these. Yeah, but that's the thing. They don't want to do it, and that's the other thing that's weird about the Democratic Party. Like if they had that in the bills, if the Democratic Party came that way, the Republican Party would be all for it because their main thing is that saying illegal immigrants, undocumented people should not be getting the same benefits that natural born citizens or citizens in general, even people that migrated here the right way, they should not be getting the same benefits as those individuals. That's the mainstay of the Republican Party. Like nobody in the Republican Party has a problem with legal immigration. I haven't seen one. It's always the illegal immigration. It's always the undocumented workers. It's not about anything that's legit. It's always about, listen, you skipped the line. And I find it highly disrespectful that you're going to skip the line and people have been waiting 10 years to get here and you're going to skip those people. It's disrespectful not only to natural born American citizens, but also citizens that fought and got in the country the right way for their citizenship. So, but yeah, the illegal immigrant, they don't want to do that. And you know how I know they don't want to do that? Is because they want to stonewall voter ID. Democrat, it was a huge thing. I need an ID to get a pack of smokes. I need an ID to to buy some alcohol. Should require an ID in order to vote. Should require an ID. Those two industries, the tobacco industry and the alcohol industry, are heavily regulated. Why isn't there regulation around voting, and why isn't it an ID, a basic ID? We're not even saying social security number, right? We're saying a state issued ID. Doesn't even have to be a driver's license. I know in California, I did this on the past live. In the state of California, you do not require ID. You probably do for initial registration, but there's actually ways to get around that. They do not require an ID when you show up at the polls. They do not. It's California state law. They do not require ID to show up at the polls and vote. And it's just so odd to me. It's absolutely odd to me because I always show up to the polls when I vote. I always show up to the polls with my ID. Yeah, because Cali's weird, bro. This is what I'm saying. Tobacco and alcohol is iffy if you look old enough. Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? There have been times I used to work at a gas station, right? I did a bunch of jobs throughout the nation. Well, a bunch of jobs that are represented in the nation, right? So I used to work fast food. I used to work food service. I used to work in a gas station, logistics, you name it. They do these checks. It's an ABC check, alcohol, beverage, something else. They do these checks where they have random people visit the stores. And if you don't ask for ID, you get a card. If you get two red cards means you lose your job. They got to fire you. They got to let you go. So they take it. That's what I mean when I say the tobacco and alcohol industry is like heavily regulated, because they have people to come in, secret shoppers to come in. They'll take a 6-pack out the back. They will look. They can look any age. They can look young. They can look old. It doesn't matter. They will show up with the 6-pack, put it on the counter, And if you don't card them, you're in threat of losing your job. And same thing with tobacco. If you get a pack of smokes, scan the smokes, but you do not card them, you're in danger of losing your job. Swear to God, they do these random checks when you work at a gas station. So if they take tobacco that seriously, if they take alcohol that seriously, why don't they take voting that seriously when that is the fundamental power of the people to affect change in this country? It doesn't make sense that you do not require IDs when you go to the poll. It doesn't. So just like your earlier point when you said the issue of illegal immigrants, that's a no-brainer, Angel. That is a no-brainer. Illegal immigration, the issue of them getting Obamacare, other programs, easily solved if they require your social security number. That is a easy fix. That is a no-brainer. But they won't do it. And you know how? Because they are stonewalling going to the poll with your ID. Voter identification with a state issue ID, they're already against. So I know they don't want to do it with the social security numbers. I know they don't want to do anything with the social security number related. Like, it's crazy. But let's continue, because this guy is making some great points.
Bipartisan.
And this is Fetterman, the individual he himself is a Democrat, but he's not voting with the Democratic Party.
Talks to end this law.
He actually wants the government open.
Logjam seem to be gaining steam, though an actual agreement is out of reach as of now. Do you know where these bipartisan talks to end the shutdown are? We're on day 33 of the shutdown, obviously.
I sure hope so. I mean, this is an absolute fail. It's embarrassing, honestly. If we can't even kind of, keep the lights on like this, and now reminding everybody, federal workers have had to borrow more than $1/3 billion just to pay their own bills. I mean, those are the kinds of workers that make this, and they're really suffering now too. And now people can't count on their SNAP benefits, and also WIC and Head Start. These are the kinds of people, why I'm a Democrat, fighting for people that just like that. Now, it seems like we're moving against our core values to keep our government shut down at this point, as now we're approaching 33 days now.
Yeah. So let's talk about the issue.
Exactly why I think the Democratic Party is a party of supervillains. Exactly what he said. You're supposed to be the party of the people. You're supposed to be the party of assisting and helping people and all of these things. But to push your own agenda in order to, get what you want, you know what I'm saying, you're willing to hold America hostage. You're willing to hold the furlough federal workers hostage. You're willing to hold the recipients of SNAP benefits hostage and allow them to suffer allow these human beings to suffer in order to get what you want in Obamacare and the like, which is already set to end at the end of the year. So if they would have just voted on the clean resolution to open the government and then carried on business as usual, they could have negotiated an actual bill in order to, keep the ACA going, if that's what they wanted to do. But they wanted to take this moment right before an election cycle, surprisingly, right before an election cycle. It's like a perfect window, because tomorrow is election day. So they wanted to take this time to have Republicans in a gotcha moment, and they're willing to sell you out in order to do it.
Issue that Democrats say they're fighting for in the shutdown. Pennsylvania's Obamacare marketplace says that more than 150,000 Pennsylvanians are going to lose their coverage if these enhanced premiums expire at the end of the year. In Allegheny County, where you live, average monthly health care costs are projected to rise 75%. In rural Juniata County, those prices are going to jump a staggering 435%. Have any Republicans offered you any assurances that they will work with Democrats to actually do something to prevent this from happening if Democrats reopen the government?
Yeah, well, I absolutely do believe, because a lot of those counties that you just referenced now, they're all very, very red. And then I do believe many Democrats now realize, and now Republicans realize, that we have to address this and extend these tax credits. And I absolutely hope that we do. This is what I'm saying. Like, I fully support these things, but this is the wrong tactic. And right now, by doing this, our government shut down, we're getting neither of those things. And they guarantee neither you're going to get your SNAP benefits, and you're not going to get this kind of tax credits that we all need.
Excellent point. Again, so what he just articulated is you took a unfavorable circumstance and made it worse, because not only is healthcare an issue, but the more immediate concern of how people are going to maintain their lifestyles and put food on the table is an issue now. You added an issue on top of the issue that you wanted to advocate for. Like, they look like, if this was Star Wars, they look very much like Sith Lords right now. They're holding people hostage. They are holding people hostage in order to get what they want. They're holding Americans hostage in order to get what they want. It's crazy.
Reopen this thing, and we can find a way forward. That's the way democracy operates for right now.
There are big elections on Tuesday, obviously, coast to coast, in New Jersey and Virginia and California. There's a referendum on redistricting. In New York City, polls show that the Democratic nominee Zohran Mamdani is in the lead for the mayor's race. You've previously dismissed him as, quote, not even a Democrat, and it is true he's a Democratic socialist. Do you think it would be a mistake for New Yorkers to elect him as mayor? Would you vote for Cuomo if you were a New Yorker, or Sliwa?
No, that's going to be New York's voice. Socialism is not the future of my party, and if that's going to be their future, that's really up to New York City to decide those things. You know, we all know how socialism works out. Ask anybody that's lived under those kinds of systems all across the globe. But for me, as a Democrat, as a committed Democrat, I might disagree in some areas, much like shutting down our government or other areas now. But for me, as a committed Democrat, I'm going to push back and announce people that this is wrong. And now we are hurting the very people that we fight for. And now we're getting nothing for them if we continue to keep our government shut down.
Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
All right, so that's a member of the Democratic Party that isn't with them in this government shutdown. They think that because the Democrats are holding it up with, a sub 10 votes, it's less than 10 votes that they need from the Democrats in order for the government to continue operation. Now let's see what a Democrat has to say that is in favor of the shutdown until they get what they want by holding the American people hostage.
Joining us from Capitol Hill is Janelle Bynum, who is a Democrat from Oregon, represents the 5th District there. Congresswoman, let's begin with SNAP benefits. Funding runs out on Saturday. Should Democrats pass a standalone bill to fund SNAP benefits?
Good morning. Well, let's be clear. Republicans run the House, they run the Senate, they have the White House, they have the control to make sure that Americans get what they need. And I'm here standing.
The gaslighting begins. The gaslighting begins. Yes, they got the votes in the House. That's how the bill moved to the Senate. Then every time the bill touches the Senate, you all voted down. Everybody in the Schumer camp. The thing I appreciate about Fetterman is that he's not a part of the Schumer camp. He really does. He seems like he's for the people, and it seems like he's really hurt by what's going on, and because the Democrats are moving the way that they're moving in lockstep in order to stonewall a clean CR. A clean CR is basically saying we're going to return to work. We're going to keep the funding going, and while we keep the funding going, everybody gets to work, everybody gets to do what they usually do. It's business as usual, and we get to actually earn our keep while the furloughed workers come off of furlough. Oh, the SNAP benefit recipients can go to the grocery store and the like. Government funding stays up, and it's just they get to work like usual. But now they just want to stonewall. They want to hold you all hostage. Shout out to A-Dub in the building. Omni. Hey, Dub, I thought I made you a mod. Hold on, brother. I thought, oh yeah, you are a mod. Okay. It's not showing over here. It's got you leaning over, but yeah, it's not showing. It probably means I got to update something on my side. But yeah, I see you. Shout out to A-Dub in the building. What's happening? And yes, please like, share, subscribe, and don't forget to double tap the screen. Also, hit the bell and set it to all so you don't miss a single thing. Now, here we are. She's parroting the same thing that Democrats always parrot in this time. Is, well, they own the House and the Senate. They have the House and the Senate. Yeah, but anybody that understands civics understands that they need a certain amount of votes, and you all are holding up that particular part of the process, stonewalling with your vote so that you can get what you want while holding the American people hostage. This is what they're doing. It's their strategy. They say it themselves. This is our tactic of having leverage over the Republican Party. Mind you, the Republicans of the House and the Senate are still getting paid. So what is your leverage exactly? You're leveraging the suffering of American people, of American citizens, of federal workers, of federal employees, and SNAP benefit recipients in order to get the Republicans to bend the knee and do what you want them to do. It is a Disney supervillain tactic. They are supervillains for doing this. Listen to this. It's the same thing as always. Listen.
Benefits.
Good morning. Well, let's be clear. Republicans run the House, they run the Senate, they have the White House, they have the control to make sure that Americans get what they need. And I'm here standing up to make sure that we put forth front and center the American needs so no child goes hungry.
Is that a yes, then, that there should be a vote on the standalone legislation?
But children are going hungry is the problem.
I'm here. My Republican colleagues are on vacation. We want to make sure that we stand up for American people. Speaker Johnson has the right and the control of the House so that we can have a vote. That's not in my control.
If he did, would you vote yes?
Put a bill on the table and we can look at it.
We talked earlier to Congressman Tim Burchett, Republican of Tennessee. He was on the program, and he made the argument that Democrats in previous situations avoided government shutdowns by voting 13 times for so-called clean continuing resolutions that would fund the government at the previous year's funding levels. Why not agree now?
Well, look, I just got here. I don't play politics. I want a clean bill that focuses on the American people, that makes sure kids have a full belly, and, you know, all of the clean this, clean that. Americans don't understand that. They know if they have their benefits or not. So put a bill on the table, make sure.
If they would have their benefits if you would vote the clean CR through.
It's very pure and clean, as they like to say, and it doesn't have a whole lot of fluff in it. I'm not here for games. I just want to make sure kids get fed.
They did have a clean CR vote on September 19th in the House. Did you vote for it?
I disagree with your characterization and want to make sure that we're very.
Did everybody hear that? Did everybody hear the question and the non-answer? Did everybody hear? Put a 1 in the chat if you heard the question and the non-answer that she just gave.
A clean CR vote.
I'm not here for clean, as they like to say, and it doesn't have a whole lot of fluff in it. I'm not here for games. I just want to make sure kids get fed.
They did have a clean CR vote on September 19th in the House. Did you vote for it?
I disagree with your characterization and want to make sure that we're very clear about what Republicans have been doing. Any bill that they've put forth, they've always had some extra stuff to it. There's always been a poison pill to it. So I disagree with your characterization.
Now, she said, I disagree with your characterization, all right, which is a non-answer. Then she went on to say, let me turn this up because I don't know if y'all can hear what she's saying. Then she went on to say that there's a poison pill. There's a poison pill somewhere in the clean CR, which is the continued resolution. It's literally in the name. Continue resolution. It is a resolution to continue the government's processes so that people can go back to work and people can get their benefits funded. Yet she cares about the starving children while she and the rest of the Schumer Democrats are holding up the process, literally taking food out of mouths out of millions of Americans.
Stuff to it. There's always been a poison pill to it. So I disagree with your characterization.
What were the poison pills of the clean CR or the continuing resolution? You say it's not clean, that was voted on in the House in mid-September.
Here's what's important.
What's important is opening up the government so people could feed themselves. Let's run this back, right? This is comedy. This is comedy. This is actually, it would be comedy if yes, A-Dub, yes. They asked her directly, A-Dub. She said that A-Dub, you heard her, right? You heard her say that there was a poison pill, that the Republicans always have a poison pill in the bill. They asked her directly, what is the poison pill? Listen to her response. Listen, I'm playing back the question and the answer again. This is what I mean when I say that they're holding Americans hostage to have leverage. They say it themselves. We want to have leverage over the Republicans. We want to have leverage over the Republicans. Hold on, Duncan. Listen, Duncan. I can't pull up your comment. For some reason, I don't know why I can't pull up your comment. Let me refresh this. I couldn't pull up your comment, but Duncan, hold on. Wait till you hear this, Duncan. Because we're exposing the liars today, Duncan. Listen, Duncan. Listen. Hold on. Watch this.
CR or
they've always had some clear about what Republicans have been doing. Any bill that they've put forth, they've always had some extra stuff to it. There's always been a poison pill to it. So I disagree with your characterization.
What were the poison pills of the clean CR or the continuing resolution? You say it's not clean, that was voted on in the House in mid-September.
What she put forth the idea, she put forth the notion that there is a poison pill that Republicans are trying to push in the continued resolution, which is just a resolution to continue normal government functions, right? She suggests that in the clean CR, which means there's nothing, no extra flesh or anything in it, they are putting a poison pill in it. The interviewer, after she put forth the notion of a poison pill, the interviewer just asked her, well, what is the poison pill in the clean resolution, in the continued resolution? Pardon me. This is crazy.
Poison pills of the clean
pill to it. So I disagree with your characterization.
What were the poison pills of the clean CR or the continuing resolution? You say it's not clean, that was voted on in the House in mid-September.
Here's what's important. I think what you're trying to do is shift the responsibility to Democrats. Speaker Johnson.
Did she tell us what the poison pill is? I don't think y'all hear me. Did she tell us what the poison pill is? She put forth the notion that there's a poison pill in the bill. Did she tell us what the poison pill is? Did you hear her say what the poison pill is? Where is the poison pill? She said that there was a poison pill in the bill. She said that there was a poison pill in the bill. What happened to the poison pill, ma'am? One more time. One more time. Because if I say, oh, well, there's something over there, and then you ask me, oh, well, what's that something? What is that thing comprised of? What is that thing? Then I should be able to tell you what that thing is as soon as you ask me, well, what is it? They're playing in your face.
Here's what's important, and want to make sure that we're very clear about what Republicans have been doing. Any bill that they've put forth, they've always had some extra stuff to it. There's always been a poison pill to it. So I disagree with your characterization.
What were the poison pills of the clean CR, or the continuing resolution? You say it's not clean, that was voted on in the House in mid-September.
Here's what's important. I think what you're trying to do is shift the responsibility to Democrats. Speaker Johnson controls the House. He should come back, pull Republicans off of vacation, and make sure that we have discussions on what the country needs. We know children need to be fed. Anything else is...
Then vote the resolution through to restore government processes, to restore government funding. Children need to be fed. Your voting against the resolution is what's keeping them from being fed.
is passing the buck and is playing politics.
What have you heard from your constituents about Obamacare premiums? And without these enhanced tax credits, what are they learning about the cost of health care?
We've had 21...
When they say tax credits, they mean government funding, the subsidies, because ACA doesn't work without government subsidies.
In town halls, people are very concerned about their access to health care. What's really important to know is that even if your premiums aren't going up, even if you are not one of the people affected by changes to Medicare reimbursements or things like that, when you lose medical providers in an area because they can't afford to stay in business, everybody loses. So we lose access to pediatricians, we lose access to specialty providers, we lose access to our hospitals. The infrastructure of the American health care system is going to crumble if we don't have health care that everyone can access.
Another question for you, Congresswoman, switching gears, is about the deployment of National Guard to Portland area. What are you seeing in your district?
Well, my district houses Camp Withacombe, which is where one part of the National Guard is stationed. And I went and talked with them. I went and, just checked out to see what was happening over there. What is very clear to me is that our American soldiers don't want to be there doing political jobs. And the president is attempting to use the National Guard as his toy soldiers. We didn't ask for this. We don't need this. I went to the ICE facility to see if it was a war zone, as President Trump claimed. And I saw with my own two eyes, it was not that. It was peaceful protest. And I think the American people have been seeing that consistently.
Janelle Bynum represents the 5th District of Oregon, a Democrat there. Thank you very much for your time this morning.
My pleasure.
I don't know what's going on with my system, but I'm probably going to have to cut this short as a result of it. Let's see the peaceful protest, because I haven't seen a lick of Oregon protests. So let's see this peaceful protest that they're talking about. Then ICE protest live. Let's see. In real life, confronting Antifa. What they got going on that's peaceful? I get in Chicago, MAGA. We want what's going on in Portland. I need a good view. I don't need news clips. I want the raw footage. Like the raw footage. This is like a 4-hour stream, so this guy have some of what's going on. Let's see. Yeah, this looks rather raw. This is.
Hold on, we'll get that.
It's all that fucking chicken.
Okay, it looks peaceful. I don't see much protesting, but it looks pretty peaceful. It looks pretty peaceful.
Court said that it was an error.
How do you guys feel about how Portland PD's handled this? I mean, a lot of people have brought up National Guard when it comes to the National Guard.
No, see, I didn't want all the commentary. I just wanted to view the people. So we'll zoom around. It seems pretty peaceful, so I'll give that to her. It's pretty peaceful. It looks pretty peaceful out there. It looks pretty peaceful out there. But ICE facility, Portland mob storms ICE. Yeah, it says Fox on it. I don't want to be biased about it. Anti-ICE protest, live protest, obscure crime. Is this?
I know they're just doing their job. The state-run grocery stores that have like they're going to be empty shelves, like military. Sorry.
And your phone number, I don't know if you want to go off camera, says.
They got Portland PD out there. They got, you know what I'm saying? I don't see anything getting destroyed or none of that. So, it is what it is. It was a good characterization for him to say, you know, it's rather peaceful. From what I've seen, I don't hold me to it. If you find someone like blowing up a store later on, don't hold me to, you know what I'm saying? I'm only seeing what I'm seeing real quick, and I'm skimming through. But I am having some glitches, some technical difficulties, so I am going to cut this rather short tonight. Plus, I got to be at work a little bit later, so need a little break in between. So, yeah, man, but this is what irritates me. They're holding Americans hostage.
Joining us from Capitol Hill is Janelle Bynum, who is Democrat from.
They're saying that they're mischaracterizing the Republicans by saying, oh, there's always a poison pill or what have you. And it's not there. There is no poison pill. They just did this right before an election came up, which is tomorrow, so that the Democratic Party can look a certain way and the Republican Party can look a certain way. And miraculously, I think we're probably going to clear this up after, somehow miraculously after the election's over. I think they're going to vote the correct way. Don't hold me to it, but I think they're going to vote to open up the government right after the election. The Democrats are going to open up the government right after the election. It is absolutely insane. It is absolutely insane. But anyway, appreciate A-Dub. As always, brother, appreciate you hanging out with me. This was a quick hit anyway. Peace, love, health, wealth to you all. And I'm out.